This is a video on the life of Ashwin Subramanian. He's a good friend and lives in Bangalore. After the WACA celebrations, it was me, Gukesh, Akhil and Aruna who visited his home in Bangalore. There was some beautiful food that was cooked. We had a wonderful time at his place. Ashwin is not just a great person, he's also a tech expert. He's also helps other chess players through the Help Chess Foundation, and he has many great things that I could talk about. But there's one particular thing that I want to speak in this video, and that is his amazing book collection. He has more than 1,000 books at his home, and in this video we go through this collection that Ashwin has built so meticulously over a period of 20 years. I'm here inside a very special room in Bangalore with my good friend Ashwin. Hello Ashwin.
Hi Sagar.
Ashwin, we are going to have a tour of your room, which is maybe one of my favorite rooms in the country.
Wow.
Because it has so many chess books. How many would you think?
I think I have more than, at least 1,000 books.
1,000 books
Yeah.
are here inside this room, and we are going to look at a few of them. How did you manage to collect these books over how many years?
I would say probably around the past 20 years or so, when books started becoming more easily available. But the story is funny. Way back when I used to play chess, I started playing chess in 90. There was this book called Winning Chess. I loved that book, and I could learn all the basic tactical elements and so on. And I wanted to continue. There were a couple of bookstores in Mysore where I found this book called Sura's Book of Chess. I don't know if you remember that title. Back then that was one of the very few books that you would find. And I asked my mom, she said no, let's not buy that. But one of my uncles said no, he'll get it for me, and he got it for me. And then I started developing interest in chess. I played a few tournaments. I did pretty well. So I obviously wanted more books. And I found this book called Chess Master versus Chess Amateur. I loved that book as well.
By Max Hoover, right?
Max Hoover. So I read it covered, page by page, pretty much multiple times. I even made meticulous notes about it. And Mysore used to have this exhibition every time there is Dasara, and one of the publications was Navakarnataka Publications. They used to have these Russian publishers called Mir Publishers. I don't know if you remember them. So they used to make books like this. 15 rupees, 20 rupees. So I think this book was like 30 rupees or something back then.
Oh.
And this was one of my favorite books, one of the very few in my collection that I have really read cover to cover multiple times. And there were 2 or 3 more books. And there was one book about Kasparov and Karpov, which was about their World Championship match, 1984 till 85, the long one.
Yeah, the 48 games.
48 games one and the 24 games one. So both put together was one volume. And it was available for 30 rupees. And I wanted to buy that. And I went and told my grandfather that I want to buy it. He said, no, it's too expensive. And I didn't have the guts to ask my mother. And one of my aunts said, no, she'll get it for me. And she paid me 30 rupees. I took a rickshaw, I bought it, and I came back. And then post that, I kind of quit chess. But I always had this, affinity to chess books. So whenever I get a chance, I go to a bookstore, I see a chess book, you'll hardly find chess books. So I go to a bookstore, there'll be 1 or 2 books, I would pick it up and come home. So slowly I built my collection. But once we moved to Bangalore, there was this bookstore called Strand, which is, big in Mumbai. And they had such a huge collection of chess books. And every Sunday we had this ritual. So when my daughter was about 3, she also liked books a lot. So every Sunday we would go to Strand bookstore. And, I would just pick one book at a time, bring back, add it to my collection. And they would have these exhibitions where they would have the entire collection of, Garry Kasparov's World Championship series. I bought all of that.
Wow.
So it just,
over a period of time.
And
also it feels like the feeling which you got when you got your early books is what keeps you from getting new books, because that feeling of reading and learning was very intimate.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I used to love the feel of the smell of these books, the just holding it, flipping through pages. I would never read, I didn't have the time to read them cover to cover. I was not really actively playing or pursuing chess. But somehow I just felt like collecting more and more. And once you could buy online, it became, I went crazy. right? I could just buy 3-4 books at a time every week, right? So,
And you are also a trainer, like you teach a bit of chess on weekends.
Yeah.
Of course, you have your own job and everything, but you also became the world amateur champion at ACO tournament in 2018.
18, yes.
That was below 1800.
Yes.
So you are a strong player, as I keep telling many times, maybe one of the strongest unrated players of India. So let's have a look at your collection here.
Sure.
First, we have like these books outside. These are non-chess books that I see on this shelf.
Yeah.
And we can come back to it towards the end.
Yeah.
Here we have some chess books on the here below the second one.
Yeah. So this is all philosophical type of books, but this is all chess. So what I did was, I basically pulled out some books that I wanted here, to be visible for myself a lot more, and I basically put a bunch of books that you can learn a lot from. If you see, you'll have the Yusupov series over here, right? Books like Modern Chess Planning, which is mostly a set of puzzles from a planning perspective by Grivas.
Right.
That collection is interesting. Best attacking games of 2012 to 2015, for example. Chess calculation training, Sam Shanklin's books, Small Steps to Giant Leap, and so on.
Right.
So,
there's this book which I never have seen in hard copy. Yes, Perfect Your Chess. If we can just get this out, this book, because this book has been a favorite of many players overall.
Yeah, it's one of the best books from a puzzles perspective.
Yes, and in fact, I met Volokitin at World Rapid and Blitz, and I told him about this book, and it was amazing. It's actually done by him and his coach, Grabinski, right?
Yep.
And if we can just show the viewers, it's like amazing positions inside, beautiful ones with well annotated answers.
Yes.
I think the choice of position is very good.
Very good, and it doesn't tell you, it's not like a mate in two. It doesn't give you any clues. It just gives you a position and asks you what you have to do. The interesting thing about all these Gambit books is there was this company called Citadel Chess World.
Yes.
In Chennai.
Yes.
Once I discovered them, every time I would go to Chennai, I would get 15-20 books, right? Every man chess.
Srinidhi and Satyanarayan.
Yeah. So there was this one trip where Anjana was about 5 years old, I think. So we went to their place, the warehouse, where they actually kept a lot of books. I got an entire box full of books. Literally everything that I didn't have. I don't know what made me do it, but when you see these books for like 200, 300 rupees, it's like, my God, I have to have it. I don't know. I just ended up collecting all of them.
It's beautiful. And there are also some recent books that you have here.
Yeah. This is again a very, very nice classic.
Oh,
it's
yes.
called The Best Move.
By Hort and Jansa.
Yeah.
Two of the best players from Czech Republic.
Yes. And again, very similar format to this
Hort
one.
now. So in Germany, but...
Yeah. And I love these, books by Saltus as well.
David versus Goliath chess. Oh,
chess.
What does that mean?
So it's very
like
similar.
Upsets, yes?
Very similar to a master versus an amateur type of a book. And even Jakob Agard has a set of books on that. When we go to that set of books, I'll show you.
Okay. And then we have here.
Here, it's all Kasparov, Karpov.
Oh, really?
The entire collection. I mean, some are just exclusively Kasparov, like this.
So, did this match of Kasparov and Karpov make a deep impression on you?
Yes, very, very deep impression on me, and I have to show you something in that context. So I have this, again, back then it was very difficult to follow chess. You had to rely on newspapers, right? And I would have paper clippings like this.
Oh, you kept it.
I kept
this
it.
This is from 85.
85.
So that's like 40 years ago.
Yes. This is different matches, this is, I think, Karpov and Kamsky, I believe. Their match, the candidates event. Arvind Aaron wrote a lot of these. And you would find Anand's, I think this was Anand's match against Kamsky again, I believe. Yeah.
Wow. This, I think, 94 perhaps? Like
Probably,
Sanginagar.
Yeah.
Maybe they
I don't
played
remember the exact year.
Oh, it's in
have
New
the year.
York somewhere.
Yeah. I think this was the candidates event before the 95 match.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this is one of
Oh,
those
this is like a small leaflet by Anand.
Yes, very small book by,
Can you show Anand his photo?
yeah.
Oh wow,
A
looks
lot
so
like
young
Akhil.
and
Looks so much like Akhil looks so much like him actually.
okay.
And this was again, Hindu used to have these beautiful articles. This is about Gata
is
Kamsky.
Kamsky,
Yeah,
yeah.
and this is Anand. Right, this is again before their match. So if you see, this was in 1990. This is pretty much the year when I started getting really intrigued about chess. Look at the interview back then.
Is he nearing the summit?
Yeah.
Nice. And Vishy is here.
Yes. I mean, I really miss this kind of chess coverage in newspapers, right? I mean, you hardly see. I was very happy to see the latest set of articles for Gukesh's candidates, right? Every day. It was very, very nice.
Yeah, I think chess is coming back into print and in TV and all because of the achievements of these youngsters.
Yes, yes.
Wow, this is beautiful. So some nostalgia there.
Yes.
And these cupboards here also have a lot of chess books, yes?
Oh yes, all of this is filled with chess books. And there is this one diary which I have shown Anand as well in one of my Zoom calls. I think we had a class that he took, after which we had a short Zoom conversation for about 5 minutes. And then I showed him, what I used to do. I used to actually write down moves like this with the newspaper clipping, right?
So the newspaper clipping had the moves,
Had the moves,
but
but
you
I
would
would-
write it again just like as a revision.
Yes. It was more to,
More like your practice.
yes.
Nice.
And I would have a few, notes as well regarding that. I don't know why I was doing this, but I was fascinated by it.
Such things,
Yeah.
even if they don't contribute perhaps to your improvement, they bring about kind of a nice approach towards
The game.
the game.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you become more serious towards it.
Yes.
When you sit down on the board to play, you are also more confident because you've gone through it carefully.
Yes.
I guess it helps.
Absolutely. I think some of it probably built whatever foundation I have with chess, because I haven't done too much of studying or training lately, but I'm able to play at a reasonably good level. When I play online, I'm constantly between 1800 to 1900 on chess.com and about 2000 to 2100 or 200 on Lee Chess. And every now and then when I win against a 2400 player, I'm like super happy. It just makes my day, right? So
Wonderful. So let's have a look at this side.
yeah.
Maybe more classics here. I can see Fischer's My 60
So-
Memorable Games.
So this is all some of my favorite opening books. And favorite in the sense, I like these books as well as these are the types of openings that I want to study, right? I think Bologan's books are pretty good from what I've heard. I've not read them a lot, but I've skimmed through some of those.
So here, and also Sveshnikov's Grand Prix. I think Grand Prix is your favorite opening.
It's my favorite opening, yes.
And we can see, yeah, I'm just having a look at all these.
This is also, part of the Gambit collection, right? Understanding the Sicilian, it kind of covers every aspect of it. And I love the Chess Explained series. This was again small books by Gambit with a series of games end to end.
So yeah, the games are there and they are all annotated and explained deeply.
It is not like an opening theory book,
Ah.
but you basically get a game collection that's related to a specific opening, and you get to see different positions out of it. So,
Nice.
yeah, the embarrassing part is they look so new.
Yeah, but it's also you've kept them so well. Some of the books are quite old and
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
okay. So
This
these
is a
are
classic, of course. How to open a chess game. I don't know if you've heard of this.
Oh yes, this is a famous one. And actually, the authors of this book
Yes.
are crazy. You have Larry Evans, Gligorich, Hort, Keres,
Petrosian.
Larson, Petrosian, Portish. So
Imagine
it's
a book.
yeah, it's like this day you would have like Caruana, Nakamura,
All of them writing
Anish,
one book.
Magnus
Yeah.
coming together to write one book. Yeah.
Yes. And if you look at this side, this is all Jakub Bagard's series and Mark Dvoretsky.
Oh, Dvoretsky and Yakov.
Yeah.
That's a nice way to put it. Look at this. You have all the Dvoretsky Yusupov series books. So nicely put up. Wow. And this Practical Chess Defense is one of my favorite books
Yes.
here. some beautiful puzzles. In fact, Ashwin, first time
meeting,
we
yes.
met, I gave a position from this
that,
book.
Yeah. I know.
An attacking manual 1 and 2, and this is this Grandmaster preparation series. And this book, Dvoretsky's Analytical Manual, is a book. If anyone's serious about chess, you will find a lot of material.
Definitely
in
one
it.
to read. Yeah.
And Ashwin, there's also one very nice story of attack and defense book
Yes.
here, because when I was very little, around 12, and I just started my chess journey, my father went to Strand bookstall as well and bought a book of chess, and he brought attack and defense.
Nice.
And I was not a strong player at all, and I told my dad, what have you brought? Like, I don't understand a thing from this. But then it remained, and when I got stronger, when I got my rating, this became a great book to study.
Book, yes.
So maybe some books are like that. Yeah, they're not helpful immediately, but at some point they start becoming.
For sure. Yeah. And this is one of those books you would find easily in bookstores at that point. Right?
Yes.
You would never find any of those, but this was available quite easily in many bookstores for whatever reason.
And we have some, this ones maybe you got from the ChessBase India store.
Yeah, some from ChessBase India, some directly from New in Chess.
Studies for practical players. Very nice book, this one by Dvoretsky.
And there is a
Parvakov.
second part to it that's just released recently.
So it's not yet in your house?
Not yet.
Well,
These days I wait for ChessBase India to bring it. Because I think the shipping costs have become really high.
Yeah.
It was much more affordable than what it is of late. So.
and going down here, you have this very famous book, My 60 Memorable Games by Bobby Fischer.
All of this is books by different world champions. Like here, this is more of book collections and things I can learn from World Championship games, and John Nunn's book, Instructive Game Collections is what I would call this. This is a beautiful book.
This is a great book, The Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Yeah.
I think it's by David Bronston, and he is considered by many as one of the most creative players who's there, right?
Yeah. And if you see these books, some of these are not, I wouldn't say they're as well written in terms of the story part of it, but I wanted to make sure I have a collection of all the World Championship games and books, whatever was out there.
Oh,
and I like this one. I think a lot of people should read this. How to Beat Magnus Carlsen.
Okay.
Still very relevant, probably. Of course, you have London to Elista. See this one?
Yes, this is a very famous one. In fact, I met Ilya Levitov recently.
Yeah.
And he's written it with Barev.
Yep. And you see this Anand Gelfand, Anand Topalov, Vichy's
What is
Victory.
this Vichy's Victory? I've never
Mexico
heard of
2007.
it. Who's written it?
This is all Raymond Keane. All of these are, I think.
Oh my god. Ashwin, you have some books which I've never even heard of. World Champ. Wow. Battle of Bonn.
Raymond Keane again.
People have not spoken about these books too much.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I mean, what I've heard is a lot of those books were basically based on the articles that he had written during the match.
Okay. And we also have Tal Botvinnik here, 1960.
Let me take this.
Timmons Titans, Botvinnik's Mislov, the big book of World Championships, Carlsen's Assault. Oh my god.
This is after the 2013 World Championship match.
Okay.
Right? Then just after he won it. This is an amazing book about all the world champions. Of course, this is one of the best books ever.
Which
Tal
one?
Botvinnik,
Tal
1960.
Botvinnik. Yes, where Tal won against Botvinnik.
Yes.
And it was written by Tal himself?
Tal himself, yeah.
Oh my god, okay. Beautiful cupboard, beautiful section here.
Yep.
And this one here?
This one is all middle game. So if you see, you'll see books about judgment and planning, attack, right? And you'll also see some books on pawn structures. For example, positional sacrifices, learn from Bent Larsen, again attacking skills, different types of structures. And of course, Nimzovich's chess praxis.
Right.
That's a great collection of lessons there. And Secrets of Modern Chess Strategy. Carlsen once said that was one of his favorite books.
Which one?
Secrets of Modern Chess Strategy by John.
Oh, wow. John Watson, Advances since Nimzovich. And I really loved this one, Winning Pawn Structures, because I learned so many things, winning chess middle games. It's about pawn structures.
Yeah.
And I learned so much about IQP and all from this.
Yes. And this one, again, there is part 2 now.
Oh, really?
So this is Queen D4 based. The other one is E4.
E4 has come. You
just
have it?
Just recently. I don't have it yet.
And here there is also a nice book by Sokolov. I think Sokolov writes great books.
Very good books. Sacrifice and Initiative, and you see this one. These are again middle game books.
Right. Okay, so these are some fantastic. These are more theme based.
Yes. So mostly around middle game, tactics,
and by
attack.
the way, this Art of Attack in Chess
It's a
by
classic.
Vukovic. Can we just have a look at that one?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people talk about it, and I wanted to check his index because in it they've classified attack beautifully. So you can see here the attack against the uncastled king, then attack on the king that has lost the right to castle, on castling and attacking the castle position, mating patterns, focal points, classic bishop sacrifice. So I mean, if you read such a book, your concepts of attack do get better.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so this is wonderful.
This one is all endgames.
Oh,
Some of the best books in endgames, books that I wanted to. When I have this huge one by
Jacob.
Matter of endgame technique.
Yes, it has some 1,000 pages.
Yeah.
So 100
Dvoretsky's
endgames you
manual.
must know Dvoretsky's endgame manual,
Yeah.
and 100 endgames you must know workbook.
Yeah. And these are Silman's books.
Silman's endgame course.
2 amazing books by Boris.
Oh, by the way, this book is supposed to be like very well covered on all endgames.
Yes.
Fundamental
This
chess
is another
endgames.
book I've seen.
Magnus, right?
Yeah.
Training for his world champion. There was a famous photo.
Yes.
And by the way, this one, I've never seen this book. Lot of
Paul
people
Keres?
have spoken about it to be a very good book.
Yeah, it is.
Practical chess endings.
Yeah. And when I found, like a new copy, a reprint of it by Batsford, I just picked it up.
Right. And also this.
This is for the lazy ones. Fast track edition. And this, I don't know if you've heard of this.
Yes.
Another
It's
classic.
actually different openings that go right from the opening into the end game.
Not this one. That's a different one.
Oh, it has one series like that.
Yeah. In fact, there is one book over here. Where is that?
But just to say which one is this is based on
Maybe it
openings,
has.
right?
Yeah, maybe it does.
It's like Sicilian Dragon.
Oh, yeah. It does. So
It has
endgame
all-
themes based on different openings. But there is one book.
So I mean, for all the serious players who want to learn an opening, one way to learn openings is to learn theory, but the other way is to learn what kind of end games arise.
Out of it. Yeah. There is in fact one more book called Amateur to IM.
Here it is.
That one actually is. I was fascinated by this.
I also loved it.
Yeah.
And here in this, there is this rook bishop versus rook endgame, which is so tough.
Yeah.
But he's kind of explained it really well.
Really well, yes. And I like this, entire mindset, right? Just get into the end game as quickly as possible and outplay your opponent.
And now Jonathan Hawkins has become a GM, so maybe he'll write another book. And also I had this one here at my place, which was the Endgame Virtuoso by
that's another
Smyslov.
classic.
I mean, if you are a Smyslov fan, which I became one because of Jesse Cry, whom I used to follow, and this is a beautiful book. So we covered this part of it, and we can go to your cupboards, which might have a lot more. Wow, look at this. Oh my goodness.
So let me get this out of the way. Okay, you can have a better view.
So all these magazines here.
So this is almost every
All
single
new in
chess. And I also have ChessMate, which
Can we have a look at one? Is it a recent one?
One of the most recent ones, I believe. This is
January 24, and it's now 50 rupees only.
Yeah.
Pragnananda, number 1 rated Indian. Pragnananda beats. Oh my god, wow.
So every time I get this and I see a picture of either Prag or Gukesh or someone, I take a picture and I send it to
Actually, it can be said that ChessMate really helped to popularize chess in India.
Yeah.
Would that be true?
In fact, that's what I used to do. So whenever I used to go to Chennai, I would go to ChessMate and look at what books they have, pick up a few. But when I discovered Citadel Chess World, it became even easier because you had to go to ChessMate to get foreign books, anything that was imported. But Citadel Chess World had it all in Indian pricing, and it was much better. So.
And now here there are some. Oh, look at this, Judith Polgar's
So I have two of these because whenever I win in Budapest, typically second prize or third prize is a chess set. So I have her.
You have a chess set of
Yes,
Judith.
beautiful. I mean, it's one of the best. These are the coins and the boards are over there. It's DGT,
Wow.
but then customized for her.
Amazing.
And this one is what I won last time.
At the Global Chess Festival?
Yeah, when I won the first place in 2023, right? So, not 23, sorry, 22. This is basically a personal collection set that is curated by Kramnik. I don't know how to open this one. Oops, sorry. Look at this. This is just so beautiful.
Oh my god, this is wonderful.
This was curated by Kramnik, and so twice I picked up the DGT, and then I didn't want a third DGT set at home, so I thought I'll pick this one up because this looked pretty nice also.
And also it has a sign of Kramnik.
Kramnik, yes, very special.
Wow, that's so cool. And look at this, here you have Jeremy Silman's latest book as well, Silman's Chess Odyssey, and Pal Benko's My Life, Games and Compositions, very big one there. And just so that you guys can also have a look at these books, because to cover all of them is insane. Here is Capablanca's 3 books, My Chess Career, A Primer of Chess and Chess Fundamentals. And here you have, Sultan Khan, a book. You know, everyone thought that the book by Daniel King is the first book on Sultan Khan. But no, there are other ones as well.
Yeah, there are other ones, yeah. I have Daniel King's book also.
Yes. And here we have some books by Keres. Spassky's Best Game. Even that, you know, people used to say there's no book on Spassky. You also have it.
Yes.
Game Changer. Book by Tukmakov.
So all of these are related to
Engines.
engines, and these two are also related to engines. One is on Computer Chess World, the other is on neural networks in chess.
Nice.
So these are books that I am looking at a bit more closely to understand chess engines better. A few books that are not chess related, but
Happiness, yeah, it's important.
this is of course one of my favorite books, Code of the Extraordinary Mind.
By Vishen Lakhian.
Yeah. And this set over here, this is all, you know, more of
Reading.
yeah,
In
it's,
chess,
you won't find a single move in
Right.
these, but more of stories or lessons from chess and things like that.
Wow, you actually organized them pretty well, no? These books. Wow, there are some books behind which I don't think we'll be able to see today, but they are there inside, and
A lot of those are openings related books.
Right.
This section over here is all endgame.
this one again, Endgame.
Everything is endgame. And a lot of books over there inside also.
Capablanca, Theory and Practice. Wow. And then here you have, oh my god. These are openings, I guess.
Openings, yes, all openings, the last section. Some of those books were, you know, they were on sale for very, very low price in New in Chess, and I ended up picking them up. I mean, I think I'm one of New in Chess's biggest customers.
Wow, this was beautiful. And there's also one more cupboard this side.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry. Which we can have a look at. Not enough space for both of us, but
Yeah.
but what according to you is your favorite here? Something.
So this is all, if you look at this one, this is all classics. Like how Karpov wins. A lot of these are classics. The Soviet Chess School is one of the initial books that I had. The one down there. The Russian edition. And I like the move by, Hikaru's father as well. Great moves, the first one on top.
This one by Sunil Veeramanthi.
Yes.
Great moves, learning chess through history. Wow.
And Chinese School of Chess. Maybe I should give that to Gukesh.
Where is it?
There.
Oh my god. Liu Wenze. Okay, yeah, that might be interesting to see. Then you have here a few more books. I think through these books I at least understand that such books exist because
because many of them I have not even heard.
This is an amazing book by Kasparov. I don't know why it is not.
Is it like for beginners?
It's not. It's actually, something that amateurs can benefit a lot from. I mean, somebody who's maybe even about 1,500, 1,600 can pick up a lot from it.
Also, this is a famous book.
Oh yeah.
By Capablanca.
Capablanca. That's a classic. How not to play in games. The one in front of
By Znosko Borowski.
He's one of the authors I really like. The simplicity of how he writes his books is fascinating. This section here is all basically around thinking and tournament play, like winning ugly in chess, complete chess swindler, and you'll see some books on tournament play, learning from others, and some special themed books. Like if you see this, cool chess, hot chess.
Yeah, by Paul Motwani.
Yeah, I love the creativity in the title.
Yes. And here we have some other books.
And if you see on top there, Sagar,
Yeah.
some of those books have the best interviews that I have ever read. Like if you see this one here, this is all by
Gena Sosonko.
Yeah,
Sosonko used to write beautifully about his meetings with the top players.
Yeah.
And here is written about Bronston, inside story of Team Tal. Wow.
Yeah.
The Tao of Chess.
And Finding Bobby Fischer is again a fascinating book by Dirk.
Where is it? This one.
Yeah. I was inspired by his collection video also that you recently shot, right?
Yeah. No, his collection goes a lot, like there were a lot of historical books. But what you managed to do, Ashwin, is you managed to sort of get all the latest books that are out there. So like, not only do you have some historical books, but also the ones which are kind of new.
Yeah. A lot of, there are some publishers who've been reprinting some of these classics, and whenever I get an opportunity, I would collect it.
And are there any other books here that
Yeah, I'll show
really
you a
like?
couple of them, and couple of them have inspired me a lot from a photography standpoint. One is
Because you are a very good photographer as well.
One is of course Capture.
The one of Steve Bonhager
Yes.
recently.
Yeah,
You like this book?
love this book, and the story of how the book got to me was also fascinating. So Steve brought it to Delhi. He gave it to Aditya. Aditya took it all the way to Kolkata, and then from Kolkata to Hyderabad, and then he shipped it to me from Hyderabad.
Oh.
So fascinating book.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Again, the collection of photos in that is amazing. I also have The Thinkers.
By David
I
Lada.
also have Magnus Carlsen, A Life in Pictures. That's another favorite book. I mean, this one has a mix of few other books, but like you'll see a few books on martial arts and Buddhism. Those are all subjects that I'm interested in as well, but very few. Mostly it's all chess.
And here in the bottom of
This
this,
is all tactics and puzzles. John Nunn's one of the toughest puzzles over here. John Nunn's puzzle collection.
all tactics here. Nice. And bottom below one, maybe some openings, yeah, there?
Bottom below one is, there it's some openings. Here also it's some openings. Yeah, the last row is all openings.
Wow.
Sorry, it's a bit difficult to get there.
No, it's fine, but just, Ashwin, this is just insane, yeah, what you have.
Thank you.
It's like you also kept these books and more books keep coming, so now you have to also look at space.
Space. Yeah.
You are cramped for space, right?
Definitely, and I've slowed down a bit. I haven't added too many in the last 2-3 years, and being a lot more selective.
Are all the top?
No, there it's just
No chess books.
chess books over there.
And what about these books? You also read a lot of non-chess books,
I love non-fiction. I don't read fiction a lot. There are very few fiction that I've ever read in my life, but I do like non-fiction a lot.
Any few books that you think from here that you could recommend?
This one is a great book called Your Brain at Work. It basically is a conversation, between a couple of people typically throughout. And in every chapter, it shows how your conversation would be. I mean, it shows, how things could go wrong. and how things could actually go right if you understand how your brain works.
Nice.
Right, and the power of
You've given us
words
this book and it was beautiful.
yeah, this is all some of my favorite books. This is a book about HRV and all about how breathing controls your heart rate and HRV and how that can really help you attain a lot of calmness, and that optimizes performance. Of course, classic,
Yeah.
Mind Master, and this is a book on meditation, and a lot of books that I like over here. I mean, this section is all, I mean, I do have a lot more in terms of non-fiction,
Yeah.
but the ones that I wanted to read first, I try to keep it in front of me so that I get prompted to pick up something every now and then.
In this present era, Ashwin, you also are a tech guy,
Yeah.
You are into technology in a big way.
Yeah.
Do you feel like books are relevant? Do you think books will die out? What's your feeling?
I don't think books will die out. I think books are very relevant in my opinion. I think there's a wealth of ideas. There was one sentence I heard from Robin Sharma about 20 years back, which probably changed my mindset about books. He says, his father told him that, never ever think twice about buying a book, because one sentence from one book can change your life.
This statement which you made right now may change someone's life, because they might start collecting a lot of books.
I mean, I feel it's a conversation with the author. They are sharing a wealth of experience. Yes, and as we were discussing earlier, right, you don't have to read it cover to cover. Just a few things here and there, that can be life-changing advice that you can build on top of.
Ashwin, thank you so much for giving an insight into this beautiful room that you've built, which is having a wealth of knowledge here. And I know that you've been I've come here many times and have not been very successful in convincing you to...
This was one way of just me bringing you back over here, right? There is always this...
You know what, I can do many things with this because we haven't gone deep into it. So I'll keep coming. And thank you so much for showing us your collection.
Thank you, Sagar.
Gukesh,
Hey.
you are here in the house of Ashwin and you just saw this book collection.
Yeah.
What is your feeling like seeing, and there are some 1,000 books there?
Yeah, Ashwin uncle used to tell me a lot about his book collection. Obviously, he sends me a lot of books. I've gained a lot also. So, yeah, I always wanted to visit his place and look at his library. Finally here.
It's like when you see so many books, does it create some kind of a feeling for you, or what is your relation to books in general?
I won't say I'm like I'm a prolific reader or something, but I do read books sometimes, and I've really learnt a lot from some books. So yeah, it's nice to see. It's also, the collection is so vast, like philosophy, chess, psychology, many things are there. So yeah, it's nice to see.
And Ashwin has gifted you many books, but those are non-chess books.
Yeah, mostly non-chess books, and it's related to like, performance related, some other stuff. But yeah, I've obviously not managed to read all the books, but the things I've read, I've obviously loved it and learnt a lot.
Have they been useful? Some, like, if one or two have been useful, can you tell us which ones have helped you?
Yeah, I remember once, like I just had a very bad tournament, and uncle sent me a book called Peaks and Valleys. It was like a very fitting book at that time, and it was so good to read that at that time, and I learned a lot actually. So I think it really, really helped me, especially in that moment to come out of that bad tournament. It really helped.
Ashwin, you have this habit of gifting books to others. You've gifted me so many books. Also, Gukesh is here, and you do this very regularly. I see you coming to some event and you have some books with you. You've given them to Vidit. What's the thought behind that?
Well, I somehow feel books are really good gifts, because I can through the book share something that has inspired me, right, and has done a huge difference to my own thinking, my own way of leading my life, or getting out of a difficult situation. And I felt that's a great way to help others. And that's my thought process. Very simple. At the same time, I feel these gifts can be, that can make a big difference in people's lives.
I remember Gukesh when you came to our place and we opened up a laptop. It was also something that was recommended by Ashwin. So I think Ashwin has played this role in your chess career, sending books, recommending laptops and so on, just guiding you in some way.
Yeah, I mean, what can I say? He's one of like the closest friends I have. So obviously I've learnt a lot. I mean, how calm he is and how knowledgeable he is. I've learnt a lot. It's always a pleasure to talk to uncles. I mean, he's so enthusiastic about chess and a lot of topics. He's just someone I really love being around.
Wonderful. Thank you, Gukesh, for these very nice words. Ashwin, you're going to end this by telling us these 4 quotes which we see on your, and maybe there's some story behind it.
Okay, the story is actually quite funny. So I was telling you, maybe you were not here earlier, but I was saying that I had space constraint for all these books, right? I mean, imagine all these books were somewhere in these cupboards. Yeah, sorry.
You can just hold it.
Okay, all these books were somewhere in those cupboards. And Aruna, my wife, she wanted to give this table away because Anjana wanted height adjustable table. So I decided to move it from that room to this room. But unfortunately, this table was actually bought about 10 years back, and it has Mickey Mouse photos over here. And I bought these basically to cover the Mickey Mouse.
So behind this is Mickey Mouse.
Yes. So of course these are inspiring quotes, but at the same time, if you just remove one of them, you can see a bit of Mickey Mouse peeking out from there. That was the idea.
Wonderful.